Both Governor Hochul and Mayor Adams say New York is making big progress against illegal cannabis shops at the city and state levels. They each spoke at a press conference today to talk about the crackdown. They say they've shut down hundreds of stores and seized millions of dollars in illegal products. Officials say many of the products are meant to target children.
This is designed for one purpose, and that is to get our young people hooked early on and get them wanting this and craving this. That's not allowed in the state of New York.
Governor Hochul says as a result of the crackdown, legal sales of marijuana are up across the state. The enforcement task force is only about a month into its 90-day plan.
Few inches later.
Operation Padlock has been underway for weeks with hundreds of smoke shops shut down by the city's sheriff's office. The sign on the door of this shop in Chelsea states that it poses an imminent threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. But a class action lawsuit filed on behalf of 27 shuttered stores alleges the city has violated the owner's constitutional right to due process.
They're almost being found guilty without ever having seen a judge.
The shops are padlocked right after the sheriff's office says it finds evidence of marijuana sales without a license. But the attorney who filed the suit says,
so whoever appointed the sheriff, the judge, and jury here, there's no right of confrontation. They allow hearsay evidence to come in. And you never hear from any of the officers.
Okay, for this video, this is story time, ladies and gentlemen. This is story time here on Madman with the Show, and I'll tell you the reason why. Now, first, let's lay down the track to this whole situation. Now, we have discussed in past about what has been going on with the cannabis laws, the raids on illegal cannabis shops, bodegas, stores. We also have had two distribution centers, one in Sheep's Head, and I forgot what the other one was, both of them in Brooklyn, that were shut down. But those distribution centers are not the last. And of course, we can't leave out my home base here atop of the Tower of Madman with Staten Island, where we've had multiple raids.
Nobody receives advance notice of where we're going.
It's a sunny summer day on Staten Island, and we're driving along with New York City Sheriff Anthony Miranda on our way to a reportedly unlicensed marijuana shop.
What they're doing is selling unregulated product, an unsafe product to the community.
We pull up to a sex shop on Gulf Avenue. Mayor Eric Adams joins to inspect some of what officers have found behind the counter.
Weapons, tobacco, cannabis.
$19,000 worth of cannabis, boxed and bagged, and now being seized by the city. The sex shop is now being hit with a $25,000 fine.
So how do you make sure that you don't just go back to selling this stuff, in a month?
We have to make it more costly to stop you from opening than allowing you to stay open.
These inspections have become much more common since May, after Mayor Adams lobbied the state to raise the fines and give the sheriff authority to padlock an unlicensed cannabis shop on the spot without the go-ahead from Albany.
Now, you let me ask yourself, why do we bring this up, and why do we have this as a story this week, as a story of the week? Now, understand, as far as this hasn't been reported in the media. Number one, okay, this hasn't been. We've looked this up. It hasn't. It may come up a little bit later, but I think somebody's trying to suppress this particular story. I don't have evidence to the fact, but it's kind of curious. When you hear the story, you'll understand the situation, and to the point where it's. We've talked about that the NYC sheriffs, the mayor of New York, have overstepped their constitutional points when it comes to these padlocking of these illegal cannabis shops and bodegas and stuff like that. Okay, let me lay the information that I'm going to give you. This has come from people on the ground. And basically, the information is just like I said, it's second-handed, but I do trust the sources that this came from. And what has been going on can be verified directly from the neighbors, which you'll understand why the neighbors are involved in this, and why, because of what has happened, because of the overhanded, unconstitutional padlocking of a store, has caused a health issue in the neighborhood. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. There is a situation where a particular store has to shut down, or actually, let me put it this way, a sports bar has to shut down until the whole situation is remedied. So let's take a trip over to Westchester Avenue. Westchester Avenue, it's under the 6 train. It is the second to last stop. If you're familiar with the Bronx, New York, it's the second to last stop to Pelham Bay, which is the very tip of the end of the Bronx, and then of course you're going up into Westchester at that point. Now, at the entrance exit of the subway, there is a bar. It's a really good bar. It's a good hangout. It's got some great music in there. There you got karaoke, DJ on the weekends, great drinks, great crowd, always fun there. Yes, believe me, I do know this. It is called Bases Loaded. It's a real good place. If you happen to be in the Bronx area on there on a weekend, go take it in. It's good drinks, good people on there. Now, next door to them, there are 2 shops owned by the same owner. We're going to call him Izzy, because I haven't spoken to him. I don't know his full name to the situation. Technically, I do have it, but I don't want to put into that perspective if he is the proper owner of this, but I would assume he is. Like I said, most of this information is from people on the ground, not from the owner directly. Now, Izzy, the 2 stores Izzy has is he has a gourmet deli / smoke shop, and then he has a wireless shop with repair as the second shop, which is a little bit bigger. Now, yes, Izzy is a smoke shop as well as a gourmet deli. They serve breakfast, lunch, they make sandwiches, they have stuff you can buy, groceries and stuff like that. They sell ice. As you can see in this picture, there's an ice unit in the front of the building. Now, we're just going to call him Izzy. Izzy has other properties in other states. Now, the other property he has is in Connecticut. Now, Izzy does have a license to sell cannabis in the state of Connecticut. Now, I don't have the exact date. We can trace it back to about, from what I understand, people from a little over a month ago. The New York Sheriff's Department decided to take a visit over to Izzy's Gourmet Deli. And what has happened is that basically a complaint was made that he had untaxed cigarettes. Not cannabis, not edibles, but untaxed cigarettes. And what happened was they went in there, from what I understand, without a warrant. Now, we can't confirm it, but most likely it wasn't with a warrant, because most of these illegal shops that are being shut down, they've had no judges sign off on this. They just go in, take out all the stuff, and close it out. Put a padlock on the building. Now, here's the point where it gets weird. By sheer coincidence, Izzy received one of his cannabis packages, which was supposed to go to his Connecticut location, was accidentally shipped to his Bronx location. Now, whose fault is it? Was it Izzy's fault? Was it the shipping fault? Whoever ordered its fault? We don't know. That's the one thing we don't know. Now, the other half is, was it truly an accident? Or was it purpose? We don't know. Now, here's the situation. When the sheriff's department walked in on this and they went to go check, they did find the box on there. Now, people on the ground say, they're saying that he wasn't selling. He wasn't selling it. It was still in the boxes, unpacked. He had nothing else, other than the shipment that was supposed to go to his licensed smoke shop in Connecticut. Now, this raid happened in the morning. And what happened was, this was in the middle of the breakfast rush. Now, if you understand the neighborhood here on Westchester Avenue, it is a busy area. Very hard to get parking if you have a car. A lot of people live here. And like I said, right above it is the 6 train, which is a main line to and from Manhattan. So basically, they went in, found all this stuff. Now, I don't know if they found untaxed cigarettes. Some people said yes, some people said no. Like I said, secondhand knowledge onto the situation. Like, again, most of these people we can trust with what they said. Then they went searching in the back. Once again, no warrant to check other than the front. If you're going in, a cop goes in, it's what you visually see. You've heard this. I'm not a lawyer, but in most cases, if you watch a Law and Order, if you watched any cop show or any of these videos on YouTube, the first thing that you look at, and it's like basically, hey, what's in front of you? I mean, if there's a gun in front of you, you're going to ask the questions. If you have untaxed cigarettes, you're going to ask questions. I don't see any cannabis there. So, you're going to say, oh, okay, well, okay. But they started looking, and it's not the first time. There was another place that they did it to that basically was legitimate, and they didn't have the right to go into the back without a court order. But they did, and they found the shipment. So what they did was they basically rushed everyone out of there. And the New York Sheriff's Department padlocked it, stickered it up, shut down to that situation. And that was it. Now, fast forward a month. After going through with lawyers into the case with New York City. Now, I'm not certain if it was dismissed or he won the case. Most people are saying that he won this case. That literally the sheriff's department did not have the right to go back in there. Now, we don't have the confirmation on that from the courts department. We're trying to find the court papers on this or try to get a copy of it. I have someone trying to get that for me. Hopefully we'll be able to get it. We'll have a part 2 to this if necessary. But the case, as the inspector concludes, the case has been solved. And basically the marshals were supposed to remove the padlock. Now, you may ask yourself, well, where's the health thing come in on this? All right. Well, like I said, the bust happened about a little over a month ago. It happened during the breakfast rush. And unfortunately, other than shutting down the stoves, they could not secure the food that was out. Now, I'm not certain if the power was shut down or anything of that nature, but as far as we know, there was food left out. Okay, now we've gone into very hot weather the last several weeks. The air conditioner hasn't been going in the deli. It has been just hot air. I mean, the building was hot. So all that loose food, probably eggs, bacon, sausage, many other things that they may use for breakfast, has been sitting there rotting away for weeks in the heat. What do you think happens after a time period? Now, you may say to yourself, oh, yeah, you open that door, it's going to stink high hell. Well, unfortunately, and this is where the health thing comes in, the odor has penetrated into the sports bar, bases loaded next door. I mean, it really reeks. I feel sorry for the owner of the bases loaded. So basically now, fast forward right before the 4th of July holiday, the sheriff's department was supposed to come in and unpadlock the site per the court order. They claimed that it was a holiday weekend. They couldn't do it to that situation. Fast forward to, and this was as of the 10th of July, which the 11th, we recorded this on the 11th. As of the evening of the 10th of July, we haven't looked at the 11th as of yet because we're still showing the place still closed, even though on Google it says it's open. The sheriff's department haven't removed their locks. It's still there. Unfortunately, to the business owner next door over at Bases Loaded, he's had to shut down now because the odor is just, his customers are walking out of the place. That's how bad it is. So they had to put up a sign saying that until the neighbors' situation has been resolved, that they've gotten in there to clean out, then Bases Loaded can do a sort of a air clean. They're probably going to have to wipe the place down to just, because the odor is probably stuck. That Seinfeld joke where, you got the car and it had the stink of the guy. And, Elaine says, I can't wash it out of my hair. Literally, they need to wash Bases Loaded out from stem to stern. But the gourmet deli is going to have to clean as well. So this is the thing. And, getting to the end of this for now. Once again, I'm going to say this. The information we've gotten is from people that are reliable, from secondhand accounts. These would be secondhand accounts, but these are people we do trust to that nature. So it's, people that, work in the area, that does business in the area. And the thing is that, like I said, we don't have all the pieces of the puzzle to this. So there's got to be a lot more to this. But as we know now, Izzy's is supposed to be back open, trying to clean up, because the Department of Health is going to come in there and they're going to throw some fines on him, most likely. But it's not his fault. That's the fault of, that bill should go to, and to the Department of Sheriffs, because basically they rushed these people out without securing food, without securing the store. They just pushed them out. Thank God they allowed them to turn off the freaking the stove, the griddle. Good thing they are. They didn't allow them to clean up before they shut down. In this country, it's innocent until proven guilty to the situation. But also there is constitutional law when it comes to it. If a place is being investigated because someone called and said, yes, they have this type of situation, it has to be investigated first. And then you have to go to a court judge to get a warrant to go into the place, to search it. A search warrant. And you see that Eric Adams has been scooting around these laws. Now, I'm going to put it into this perspective. I myself want these illegal shops to go. Yes, I do want them to go. They're illegal. Some of them are harnessing merchandise from China origins and from cartel origins. And who knows where that money is going to, where they make. And how dangerous some of this cannabis is. But like I said, I want it to go. But do it legitimately, legal, through the Constitution, through the courts, through judges, and investigation. But see, that's the thing they don't want to do. They're calling it emergency powers. They call it emergency powers to shut these places down. You don't rickshaw over the Constitution just because you have a problem in New York that you yourselves, our politicians, our governor, our mayor, have allowed to happen, and the DAs also as well. It's a strange times we're living in. We've discussed many other cases. You know, we haven't gone in depth, but one that we know of is the Mercedes Carrera trial in San Bernardino. And we're, for over 5 years, we're going to be going into a 6th year with this. Think about that for a minute. 6 years in jail without having her time in court. She should have been released by now. Well, actually, she should have been released at least within the first year. But like I said, they're rickshawing over the Constitution, violating. Listen, innocent until proven guilty. And you're to the point that most of these illegal shops, they're guilty, but you still got to do it right, so we can stop them from reopening. All you're doing is you're putting a temporary Band-Aid on it. You have a group of these people that are suing New York City for what they did. And these are the illegal shops. When you have the criminals that are going after you because you violated their constitutional rights. Remember that. The criminal does have rights as well. These are the same people. These are the same politicians that says, we've done this to all, to the black minorities, the Spanish, we put them in jail they violate the Constitution and put them in jail for marijuana arrests and stuff like that. But the stuff that you were arguing about by keeping the minorities out of jail, you're doing yourselves. How ridiculous is that? How ridiculous is that? So for now, Bases Loaded is shut down, I guess, for at least a week on there. Like I said, as of the morning of this recording, Izzy's has not been reopened. It hasn't been unlocked as of yet. We'll let you know on an update what is going on out there. So let me know in the comments below. Once again, like I said, this is secondhand knowledge. We do trust the people on the ground on this. But, this is just situations that, we don't have all the information. We don't have all the pieces of the puzzle. But we can get pretty much an understanding of what's going on the ground there. You've had someone who's won their case. They need to be reopened so they can clean out the mess that, the health hazard that was caused by the sheriff's department rushing these guys out so they can close their doors, thinking that they're helping the community against illegal cannabis. So once again, let me know in the comments below. Like and share this video, and hopefully today's the day I've earned your subscription. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and bye-bye now.
Just one more thing.
Thanks for watching, commenting, and sharing this video. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe as this helps the reach of this channel. Finally, as a content viewer, you have the ability to help support this channel as new internet laws around the world will diminish our reach and affect our sponsors. If you choose to help, there are two ways listed in the description below. The first link will lead you to a pay site where you can make a monetary donation. The second will lead you to our gear shop where you can buy shirts, mugs, and other gear. Discounts will be listed on the site. Once again, thank you for watching and your support.